everyone! Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Annie and I am here to talk about books. Today I am talking about summer books. So first I want to start out with 3 recommendations of books that I read before that I think have summery vibes and that you should check out for this summer. And then I want to move into my personal TBR for the summer. Some of them are books with summery vibes, either titles, covers, settings are summery, and then some of them are just books that personally I want to read this summer. So I have very messy notes right here, and I will go ahead and get started. First of all, let's start with my recommendations based on books that I've read before. First off, you've probably seen it all over TikTok, The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This was the first Christina Lauren book I've ever read. I am like pretty hit or miss with Christina Lauren. This one I loved. 2 enemies. They're just people who don't like each other. They, for miscellaneous reasons, have to go on this vacation together and pretend that it is their honeymoon. It is just like, I love like the fake marriage, the enemies to lovers. I think Christina Lauren does really well like writing deeper characters that have like more going on in their lives besides just the central romance. So I read this one at the end of last summer and I really enjoyed it and I would recommend it. The second one that I would recommend is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I think that's how you say her name, although I saw someone else like say like Fortune or something like that, so I could be wrong. This one has I don't know if it's a sequel actually or if it's just another book by her, but it has like a coordinating cover. Coming out, actually it just came out and I pre-ordered it, but it hasn't come in the mail yet. So I thought that if you pre-ordered a book, it was supposed to come the day it came out, but that was not the case for me. But this one I have read. I read it last summer. It was a really fun second chance, childhood friends to lovers. This girl goes to the lake every summer, and that felt nostalgic to me because I grew up going to the lake every summer as well. I really enjoyed it, and I hope that you do too. It seems like it's a very popular book, so there's a good chance that you would enjoy it. The third book, I don't have a physical copy because I borrowed it from the library, but it is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid is a really safe author to recommend to anybody because I feel like all kinds of readers like her. This one is set, I think, the 80s. It's about this like surfer family in Malibu, and they have this big party that they host every year, and all kinds of things come together that night. Taylor Jenkins Reid just does such a good job writing characters, and that's what I love about her, and is no different in this story. This is probably my favorite. Malibu Rising is my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid book. So that concludes the Summery Vibes book recommendation portion of this section. I guess I haven't read that many Summery Vibes books before. I wasn't seasonally reading really last year, and so I just didn't pick up that many. So I don't have a lot of recommendations. Hopefully, if I make this video again next year, I'll have more recommendations. And then also I feel like during my fall books video, I will have a lot more fall TBR recommendations. So now we're moving on to summer books that I want to read. And I realized that I didn't like make a stack of those books. Well, I'll start with, because I know that like some of these summery title ones, I don't even have the books on hand. So I'll just tell them to you. And I'll put a picture somewhere on the screen that will show them to you. So the first one is Meet Me by the Lake. That's the next book by Carly Fortune. I know I've read the synopsis, but I couldn't even tell you right now what it's about. But I enjoyed Every Summer After so much that I just felt like there's a good chance I'll like this one too. I think it has another lake setting. I am hoping to read it when I go to the lake this summer. The next one is The Summer I Turned Pretty, which mostly I put it on this list because I own that book, but I just don't know if I like really feel like reading about like teenagers' love stories. But I own it. I bought it last summer when I like didn't really know anything about it, and so I might read it. I don't know. Next up is One Italian Summer. I've heard such mixed reviews on this one, but I want to read it anyway, and it has the word summer in it, so it's perfect for this list. I'll get it from the library probably. And then next up, we have 2 books with June in the title, which makes it perfect books to read in June. The first one is 7 Days in June, which I've heard wonderful things about, romance, and I've never read anything by that author before, and I hope that I enjoy it. And I'm planning to read that one in June. Next up is A Million Junes. I don't think that has anything to do with the month of June. I think the girl's name is June, but it's one of Emily Henry's books. She used to write like young adult books before she started writing the books that we all know and love. I'm kind of curious. I've never read any of her older stuff, and so I thought this one would be the perfect one to start with and read in June. Well, that's actually all the summary title ones. Now we're getting to ones that either have like flowery covers or like sunshiny covers or water on the cover, anything like that. First up, we have Happy Place by Emily Henry. She, I think, is the only author who has 2 books on this list. That might not be true. I think we might get a few Catherine Center books later, but one of 2 authors that have multiple books on this list. So we've got The Happy Place by Emily Henry. It's brand new, just came out, cute pink cover. Really mad that it's only in hardcover, and so it won't match the other Emily Henry books yet. I assume it's coming out in paperback eventually, but probably in like a year. And I feel like this is annoying, and I am holding out and not buying it until it comes out on paperback because I have principles, but I will get it from the library. The People We Keep has like rays of sunshine on the front, and it's one of my Book of the Month books, and I'm trying to catch up on Book of the Month. So The People We Keep. Another Book of the Month book, Adelaide, flowers on the cover, so it makes it summery. Mad Honey, flowers on the cover. I feel like that was on so many people's best books of 2022 list, which is why I bought it. And then we have The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. I love Catherine Center. This will be my 3rd book by her. I am gonna go to like an author like meet and greet with her or whatever, if that's what it's called, like a book signing this summer, and I'm so excited. And so I have a bunch of her books that I'm wanting to read. And then the last one is, I think it's Evie Drake Starts Over, but it might be Evie Drake Starts Over, and that one has water on the cover, so I'm counting it as like a summery, sunshiny cover book. And then we're getting into the books that have nothing to do with summer, but are just books that personally I want to read soon, which soon is the summer. Publisher mail. I have several books that I want to get caught up on that were sent to me by publishers, and so I want to read them so I can review them. And that is The Way From Here, which came out in March, and so I'm really behind. Escape from Florence comes out July 11th. The Endless Vessel comes out May 23rd. The Half Moon comes out May 2nd. Murder Your Employer came out in February, so I'm behind on that one as well. It felt really slow to me when I picked it up and tried to read it, so I requested the audiobook from my library. I'm waiting for that to come in, and I'm hoping, I think it's narrated by Neil Patrick Harris, and so I'm really hoping that I enjoy the audiobook experience more, because that's something that happens to me a lot, where I will maybe be bored in one format, but if I switch formats, I like it better, whether that be I'm bored physical, but I switch to audio and I like it, or I'm bored audio and I switch to physical and I like it. And then just the miscellaneous books that I just looked at my shelf and I was like, yeah, these are books that I've had on my bookshelf for a long time. I should read them. And to me, like a TBR is more like a bucket of books to choose from. And so I don't really intend to read all of these, although it'll be fun to check back in at the end of the summer and see if I did. So first up, we have Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I always say Frederick Bachman is one of my favorite authors, but I haven't even read that many of his books. I've only read A Man Called Uva, Anxious People, and his like Christmas novella. So I really want to read Beartown, the whole series. I've had it on my shelf for a long time and I haven't read it yet. So that's number 1 for just miscellaneous reads. Next up is Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. After I finish that one and maybe in another life, I will have read all of her novels, and then I'll be able to do an author ranking video. Next is Black Cake, another Book of the Month book that I am trying to catch up on Book of the Month, and so I want to read that one. And then I have What You Wish For, The Lost Husband, and Everyone is Beautiful, all by Catherine Center. The Lost Husband has a movie, and I want to watch it, but first I need to read the book. And like I said, all of those are Catherine Center books, the What You Wish For, The Lost Husband, and Everyone is Beautiful. And I'm about to meet her, and so I'd like to read more of her books because I really do genuinely love Catherine Center books. Next, we have the second book in the Finlay Donovan series. I might have to reread the first one again because I haven't read that since last summer, and so I don't know if I'll be able to just like jump right into the second one or if I need to go back and reread. But either way, I want to continue with that series. Then we have Firefly Lane. Gotta throw Kristen Hanna in there. Always need a Kristen Hanna. 100 Years of Solitude. That's one that I've been wanting to read for a really long time. I've been loving magical realism lately, and I feel like that's one of the most famous magical realism books that I know of. And then A Spark of Light. I thrifted that one last summer, and I'm just trying to really catch up on books that I have on my shelf and actually read the books that I own. And then we have All the Light We Cannot See. Again, I bought it last summer. There's a movie coming out in November, and so I really need to read this one before the movie comes out so I can see it and not have the book be ruined. And then we have Other Birds. That's another magical realism book, and I got that one for my birthday, and I am so excited to read it. River Sing Me Home, another book that I got for my birthday, and I'm so excited to read. Then we have The Daughter of Dr. Moreau. I think that's a horror, but not a really intense horror book. And I don't know why I feel like this summer I'm gonna try out horror, but I don't want to read super scary horror. I think that one's not a super duper scary one. I feel like it's just a little bit scary. That is all the books that I had on my list. Let me know if you've read any of these books down in the comment below to let me know if there's any that I should prioritize or just forget about. Let me know if there's any books that I didn't include in this video that have summery vibes, settings, titles, anything. Anyway, I hope everyone is having a great May. My name is Annie. I am so glad that you watched today. Please check out my other videos and subscribe, and comment. Bye!